Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm just going to give you a sec to grab your coffees. Let's connect on this Saturday morning. Say hello in the comments as you join us today. Hey, Meladine. Good morning to you. I feel like today will be just so much tamer than yesterday after those two wild guests. We're just going to give people a minute to connect with us, and then we'll have coffee. Such a lonely time waiting for you to join us. With this cup of coffee. I can't even speak today. This cup of coffee is my dream today. It's the first one of the week. They were fun. Yeah, it 100%. I agree with you that we need more fun in 2021. I kind of like the way that sounds. Maybe there's something there. As you're joining coffee this morning, please say hi in the comments, say good morning. If you're brand new to joining us, maybe you're here for the first time, welcome. Put where you're watching from in the comments, because we are all over Canada in the US. Sometimes we even dip into the international pools of the world, which is kind of fun, although this time of the morning in some places is really, 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 really early or super late. I think when Mark joins us from Australia, it's like 3:00 in the morning there. Oh, well, you were who I was waiting for, Shay. He's here. We can begin. Perfect. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Good morning. So, how are you on this Saturday morning? How are you feeling? I know that friends in Ontario, friends in Alberta received word this week that there's an additional 2 weeks of lockdown. So just want to check in and see how that's sitting with you, how that's resonating. If you're just like, well, we've done it this far, a couple more weeks won't matter. Maybe it's what's the saying? The cherry on the top. I am so bad at cultural catchphrases. How is that possible? The icing on the cake was maybe what I was thinking of with that phrase. Anyway, it's Saturday morning. I've only just started to have a coffee. Give me a break. But I'm curious how that is sitting for you, how that's going. I know too, what was kind of on my mind this morning and has been for a couple of days, and I think we'll hopefully dip a little bit more into that as we go in, is that January is a month where traditionally things feel a little bit slower. They move at a more of a snail's pace. I mean, we've been blessed, definitely in Southern Alberta. Not sure about wherever you're watching from, but we've had some pretty nice weather with some sunshine. But traditionally, this month is a month where we feel a little bit more down. A lot of people can suffer from seasonal sadness. I think they call it SAD. I don't know what exactly, seasonal affected depression or something like that. Anyway, people feel more down this month than other months of the year. It's definitely a trying month. I think we'll feel even more so after going through the year that we've had, the holiday celebrations that weren't as we would normally do. Some people, this is just a really tough time of year. We do have Blue Monday that comes up in January. We have Bell Let's Talk Day that comes up this month. We know research has shown, repeated patterns indicate that this is a month where we struggle a little bit more. So I think that it's even more appropriate that we continue to check in on each other and just giving yourself a little check in. So, how you doing this morning? Answer to yourself. Throw it up in the comments. Send me a DM if you need to, but just wanting to check in. And then I was thinking kind of this morning, because we have this, I don't know about you, but this last week kind of sucked, like, and not in the good way. So it was just, I think we expect our first week of the year to be exciting and new year and positive, and we have all this expectation and hope and anticipation to be really strong and up and fired up. And I'm not sure that was really the collective overall feeling this past week. Maybe it was for you, which I would love to hear. If you're in the same boat as me, it wasn't an awesome week. I think that lots of parents had some interesting struggles with homeschooling for the week. I mean, it was challenging for sure, but I am blessed with just one. There are many of you that have multiple children. And I applaud you just for keeping on going, But like adding the elements of homeschooling multiple children, that was a stressful week, right? And I think as parents, we want to be like, this is easy. I can do this for my kids. I'm a trooper. I'm so strong. But actually, it felt shitty. And admitting that can feel shitty. So just checking in with you on how that resonated, how your week was. It was crazy. So it's hard. I think that the extra announcement for some businesses with lockdown, depending on where you're watching from, can feel like another sort of slap in the face. It cannot feel super awesome. And you just feel like 2021's off to a struggling start. And that could be the case. And so just, reminding all of us to check in with each other on those fronts. I had wrote in the comments today, mission. What is your mission for 2021? Now, I use the word mission because it's not necessarily, doesn't have to be a measurable goal, doesn't have to have said timeline. It doesn't have to be something you feel like you're resolving in yourself. It doesn't have to be anything more than very similar to an intention. But I say mission in that, is there something that you would like to do this year that resonates, fires up, fuels in the background of all that you can do? So my example of this is that I want my mission, or sort of the fabric of my being for this year, to be about kindness. I had started this in October of last year. We started the Kindness Revolution, and I just really want to continue that into 2021. So some of the things that I'm doing to support said mission for 2021 is I have started a group page called 52 Weeks of Kindness. And I would love you to come over and join that group if you like. Inside there, we are a group of people that want to spread kindness in the world all the time. And my challenge to people this year in that group was to do one act of kindness a week, right? We have 52 weeks in the year. I would love you to do one act of kindness per week. So that can be whether it's kindness to yourself or an act towards other people. Okay, both of those essentially important. So never feel like if you're just going to do something kind for yourself for the week that you are falling off the wagon. That is just as important. And the act of kindness can be whatever. Inside the group, 52 Weeks of Kindness, we are going to be sharing some of those stories. People are going to share what they did for the week. We're going to be reading kindness-based positive messaging every day in that group and just supporting each other through that. So if you'd want to be part of that that's one of my pieces of my mission. The other piece, my example, is that I have joined a group called Foothills Angel, and I'm really excited to be getting my wings this month. And we are a collective group of people that go into the community and help spread kindness to others. So those who are in need of a pick-me-up, in the community for whatever reason that might be. We gather business together. We love to connect with each other, and then we go out and spread kindness into the community. So I was a part of this group when they first started up. I don't even know when that was, if it was a year or two ago now, and just had a really busy schedule. But I was asked, they were looking for some support over the holiday season to help with this big plan. And I believe, don't quote me on this, because I'm not well versed in the handbook as of yet, but they helped out, I believe, 10 different families in the foothills for Christmas. And I got to go shopping for 2 families and wrap all the gifts, and they went out and delivered, and it was gorgeous. And so I've decided to use some of my time to help support this group of Foothills Angel, and it's so fun. So that's 2 of the things that I want to do in support of my kindness mission for 2021. So I'm curious to you if you felt like there's something mission style, ooh, that almost crosses the line, for 2021. Meladine, you said we needed more fun, so that's what's going to happen. What does that look like for you? Do you feel something like that? If you're like, I'm not even ready to start thinking about that yet, which is totally fine also, but what do you think? Okay. Kelly's with us now. Morning, Kel. Meladine says, I was hopeful to reopen my Reiki and wellness studio, was trying to stay offline and host just in-person clients. This allowed me to step into creating a website and getting more out of my comfort zone. And it was really fun for her to do. So she's got a little bit longer to wait, but she made a website. You're killing it this year. Crystal said, I choose a word of the year. This year, I choose rekindled. Ooh, I like it. I have not chose my word for 2021 yet. I'm going to work on that today. She's choosing things that stoke her fire this year. I love that. Stoke your fire, right? She said she loves the kindness group. Thank you. Right. And it's the things that I think 2020, if we look back a little bit, allowed us the opportunity. I think most of us had a moment of clarity or an opportunity where we realized where we used to spend our time. And some of it, okay, comparatively so, is some we weren't able to spend our time there. But some of us figured out in 2020 that some of the time we spent doing some things didn't really feed our souls, didn't really set us on fire, didn't really serve a purpose per se. We found that with people, we found that with things, we found that with work, all of those things, right? It gave us this opportunity to sort of reflect into what matters. So what I think is kind of cool about 2021, Christelle brings that up, in that what are the things that did light you up in 2020? Who are the people that light you up, right? You know, the people that when you have the opportunity, if they're number is coming up on your phone because you see them because they're texting you or calling, or if you see them in person and you are lit, like excited, happy. I remember Dr. Jody Carrington talking at a thing once, the people that give you the face like this, right? It's hard to describe that, but it's lit up. And like, who are those people and what are those things that you can do that cause that reaction inside of you? And I hope those are the things that you're going to implement into your 2021. Because think of if, and I mean, some things are out of our control. If you're working a job that isn't lighting you up in this economy right now, sometimes you have to just carry through with that at this point because we're grateful for what we're able to do. But if you have the opportunity to add some of these other light up things into your life on different levels, it can help sort of create a better equilibrium for that, right? So what does that look like for you? Have you thought about some of those things? Would you feel brave to share in the comments what some of those things are? What are the things that are like Christelle says, stoking your fire? I like to say light you up. What are those things? If you want to name drop people that are doing that for you, let's give them a Saturday morning shout out today. I think it's kind of fun. That's kind of the things that I think are going to shift, right? Because if we sit in watching I mean, granted, we can't turn off, we can't turn off the whole entire world, as tempting as that would be at times, right? Because we still have to, I think, as citizens in our country, be engaged in what is happening and be ready to be activated into your role of citizenship. However, everything in moderation, right? And it can get so overwhelming. I know this. I do it too. I mean, I like to post sometimes sassy, funny thing. Like Twitter's where I get to be a little more sassy. For whatever reason, I feel like my Twitter persona is sassier. But sometimes when I scroll through Twitter, I feel sad. And I mean, I think it happens no matter the platform, but Twitter makes me feel more sad. So it's then deflecting what that is. In with the sassy, out as quickly as possible. Facebook can be like that too. Facebook is really gives people an opportunity to have conversation that you sometimes don't want to have. I think one of our challenges for 2021 as humans, which I believe we'll be sort of tackling and talking more about on the Cake and Eat It podcast, is just how to be an active listener with people in our lives who we are in opposition with. I mean, if we break it down, Fauna and I had an interesting chat about this the other day, and we're hoping to capture some of that in the upcoming podcast episodes. But if you think about it, if you sort of compare it to us being in a relationship, okay, so if you think friendship or romantic relationship as an example, but it's us and the community, or us and the world, or us and yourself and someone in opposite. How do you have an active listening moment with someone who, whatever they're saying to you, your initial reaction is maybe that you would just like to punch them in the face to shut them up, or you can't believe someone would be that ignorant, or you can't understand where they're coming from, or you can't, right? You just want to block. But I think that's what we're seeing so much of in the world, because we've become so divided. So how do we, if we're on this side and they're on this side, how do we have great listening opportunities with people to still respect and love our fellow humans, but to be in complete disagreement with them? Is that even possible? I don't know. But the way that the feeling of our world has evolved through, I sure as heck hope so. Good morning, Adele. Welcome. OK9045. Twitter names are so hard. Says, I'm 43 and scared because 50 is 7 years away. Aging can feel a little frightening sometimes. I get that. I'm not sure why you're afraid of 50, my friend, but I think things are great. Things age well, right? But maybe that's a self-reflection piece for you, and to be like, why are you afraid of 50? What's in your foundation that's telling you that 50 is a bad age? I mean, I used to remember thinking, well, before I share that, I used to remember thinking as a kid, like 40 was so old, right? I remember when my mom had her 40th birthday and I thought, man, my mom is getting so old. Interesting, right? And then when you turn 40, it's like you come into yourself in that age. I think that's been my experience and experience with friends, right? Like your 40s are actually freaking fabulous. It can only continue to get better. Right? It can only continue to get better. But I do remember thinking that on my 40th birthday, I wrote a blog. I don't think I ever published it. Maybe one day I will, but I wrote a blog about when I thought 40 was old. Christelle says she is dedicated to gratitude practice in the mornings instead of scrolling social media. She's moving her body every day, knitting again, because creating things is fun. Ooh, I want you to knit me something, bestie. I don't know what, but she deleted social media apps from her phone, and she's trying to only check once a day and actually use the log out button because there was a real big time suck there, right? I appreciate that, Christelle. Thank you for sharing. And I'll be sure to text you because I know that you're not getting the apps on your phone. Um, that's a big one, right? And maybe if that seems overwhelming to you, but also enticing at the same time, maybe you come in and out of chunks, right? Everything is doable. Everything is possible. Most of the time, it's easier if you just break it down into chunks, right? Bite size. Make it bite size. What does that look like? Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing. What else? What else is on your mind today? We're sort of hitting our time limit. I don't want to go too much longer because I try to keep us to our 20-minute mark, just so we're having a quick coffee together. But those were some of the things that were rolling around in my brain on this Saturday morning. And hoping, even just, if nothing else, we like to provide a little food for thought in Virtual Coffee Club, a little brain kickstarter, and an opportunity to share or think or grow. If you had never been a part of Coffee Club before, we do meet here every single morning at 9 a.m. We are a place of connection, a check-in point, and we have created community here. We are a safe space to share, to vent, to grow, and just to be together, right? This world turned topsy-turvy what felt like overnight. And we started doing this back in March. I can't believe we're approaching the 1-year mark together. That's kind of crazy. But I want to continue to meet here every day to give you an opportunity to just feel connected to something. And if you never partake in the comments, if you never share, that's okay. You know, this is set up. I realize it seems very one-sided sometimes of me just sitting here blabbing to you, but I hope that it's a place where I can try to bring things to connect with you. And we talked a little bit about this earlier in the week. So just going to say it one more time before we go, is that I'm also looking to connect or find out more information on things that are in interest of you, or things you'd like to learn more about. So if you want to send me a private message, or you want to post in the comments things that you think you'd like to talk about, I think there'd be a cool opportunity if you'd like to do, I was calling them lunch and learns, but we could do them at any time of the day, but maybe over a quick lunch hour, a couple times a month. I could bring in specialized guests to talk about different topics. So even if it's learning more about mindfulness, learning more about dealing with anxiety, maybe it's how to balance a budget, I don't know, maybe it's how to do a home workout, like whatever you'd like to know about, we can do a couple of those a month too. So I'm looking for some ideas for topics, I guess. So feel free to share with me what your thoughts are on that, something that would be of interest of you. And we've got all kinds of cool people. I'm hoping to access also our amazing network within Virtual Coffee Club. So if you are somebody who is an expert or just really freaking passionate about something in particular, I would love you to let me know what that is. So again, I use the quotes around the word expert because it's not about being an expert. It's, you might not be an expert certified person in mindfulness or meditation, but maybe you're really, really passionate about it and you'd love to lead us in some more information on that. Awesome. I would like to, one of my biggest passions is helping people step into their greatness. I am not so awesome at doing it for myself, but that's on the list for 2021. But how can I help you sort of, as Christelle would say, rekindle some of that passion of yours and share it with the world? I would love to do that. And I think Coffee Club is a great place for us to sort of cut our teeth on some of those things. Maybe you've never done that before. Maybe you've been thinking about something. Here's a place where we could do that. So you let me know what's on your mind with that. And I'm going to stop rambling on this Saturday morning. Judy, thank you. Thank you. Angie, have an awesome Saturday. Okay, friends. So thanks again. Cheers to you. Tomorrow for Sunday, I thought we could share a little bit on, I know some people are, we always like to sort of rekindle some of the things. Now I'm going to use that word all the time, Christelle. We like to share things we're reading, things we're watching, some of those kind of things. So if you want to join some of that conversation tomorrow, if you've been checking out some cool books to read or shows to watch or movies that you're just feeling passionate about again, we're going to share some of that tomorrow so we can equip each other with some other cool things. I have one of my favorite books that I want to talk about tomorrow that I would love everyone to read in 2021. So that's just a tidbit of that. So thank you. Have an amazing rest of your Saturday. If you have gorgeous weather where you are, get outside and enjoy it while it's here. January can be a feisty one. So have an amazing rest of your Saturday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Cheers, my friends.